Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven, Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nossos programas oferecem vários idiomas. Acesse suprememastertv.com/schedule.
With Christmas approaching, these vegan cinnamon rolls are just perfect for the holiday season. Enjoy freshly baked pastries with a cup of coffee or tea at this festive time. Vegan sourdough cinnamon roll, part 1 of 2, classic style and German style, France Brochen. Continue watching to discover more.
Vegan can't resist the choice of pure benevolence.
Grüß in Yenish is for hello, a language that's spoken by Yenish people in Germany. I am Olga. Christmas is approaching, and on this annual festival, we commemorate the birth of Lord Jesus Christ, vegetarian, who showed us the way of eternal liberation and taught us how to live a virtuous and peaceful life. The friendly and kind Yenish people wish you a season full of light and laughter for you and your loved ones. Welcome to our show, Vegan Sourdough Cinnamon Roll, Part 1 of 2, Classic Style and German Style Franzbrötchen. Cinnamon rolls are basically sweet pastries with different varieties, such as cinnamon bun, cinnamon swirl, cinnamon Danish, and cinnamon snail. They are served in many parts of Northern Europe and North America. Each region has its own variation. In Sweden and Finland, the Boston cake is a cinnamon roll, baked in a round cake pan, so that they stick together to form a large round cake. Both these countries also observe National Cinnamon Bun Day on October 4th. In Germany, its variety, known as Franzbrötchen, originated from Hamburg and its surroundings and is inspired by the French croissant. Cinnamon spice is the ingredient that gives the roll its distinctive flavor. It has been used since ancient times, and Indonesia is currently the world's leading producer of cinnamon, accounting for 41% of the overall global output, followed by China, Olag or Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Today, we will share with you veganized cinnamon roll recipes in the classic style and the German style Franzbrötchen. Let's first make the sourdough starter. Pour 80 milliliters of warm water into a bowl. Add 1.5 grams of vegan instant yeast and mix well. Add 100 grams of all-purpose flour. Stir gently until the ingredients form a soft lump. The sourdough will help to enhance the flavor, make the texture finer, improve the elasticity, and make it chewier. Cover the bowl with a cotton cloth. Keep it at 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius for 5 hours before using it. The sourdough starters can be stored in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. For the cinnamon roll dough, we will mix the wet ingredients first. Pour 70 milliliters of warm water into a container. Add 20 to 30 grams of vegan sugar, according to personal preference, and then add 3 grams of vegan instant yeast. Mix well till the ingredients are dissolved. We'll use the sourdough starter in this recipe. You may use less or no instant yeast, but it will require a longer time to ferment. Then add 35 ml of soy milk and 15 ml of vegetable oil. Stir well and set aside for 5 to 10 minutes to activate the yeast. Next, we mix the dry ingredients. We have 200 grams of all-purpose flour in a large mixing bowl. Add 3 grams of baking powder, 25 grams of vegan sugar, and 1 gram of salt. Mix well. We will use 50 grams of sourdough, which has been sitting for about 5 hours. Now tear it into small pieces. Stir and mix well. Next, add the wet ingredients we prepared earlier. Add just a portion at a time and keep stirring till the dough mixture is well mixed. Then knead the dough till the sides of the mixing bowl are free of dry flour and the mixture forms a lump. Transfer the dough to a larger bowl. Cover it with a lid and set aside for around 30 to 45 minutes to ferment, and wait till the dough doubles in size. The ideal temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, but if the temperature is lower, move it to a warmer place and retime again. We will now prepare the vegan cinnamon filling powder. Firstly, sift 55 grams of vegan dark brown sugar to remove any clumps. This will give an even and consistent layer of filling when we sprinkle it on the dough later. Vegan dark brown sugar is refined vegan white sugar with added molasses, a syrup with a caramel flavor, deep color, minerals, and B vitamins. Now add 6 grams of sifted cinnamon powder, followed by 15 grams of vegan sugar powder. Stir and mix the ingredients well, then set aside for later use. This is the fermented dough, which has now expanded to twice its original size. Dust some flour on the kneading surface and transfer the fermented dough onto it. Dust the dough with some flour and start hand kneading by continuing to fold the dough. If the dough is wet and sticky, dust some more flour on it and continue to knead. The dough is ready when it is smooth, holds its shape, and does not stick to the hands or the kneading surface. Then shape the dough into an elongated roll. Cover the dough and leave it to rest for 5 minutes. This will relax the gluten and the dough's elasticity, making it easier to roll out. After the dough has rested for 5 minutes, pull and loosen it by hand so that it is easier to turn it into a rectangular shape. You can use a rolling pin to shape it. Arrange a piece of cling wrap under the dough. This is to prevent the dough from sticking onto the kneading surface and makes it easier to roll the dough. The cling wrap can be reused. You can also dust some dry flour underneath to replace the cling wrap. Roll and shape the dough into a rectangle of about 20 by 40 centimeters. Apply an even layer of vegetable oil on the rolled out dough. leaving 1 centimeter on the rightmost edge, free of the oil. Sprinkle the cinnamon filling powder, which we prepared earlier, evenly over the entire rectangular dough, except for the unoiled area at the rightmost edge. Gently roll the dough into a cylindrical shape, starting from the left side to the right. Put it back in the cling wrap and tightly twist both ends of the cling wrap. Then place it in the freezer. After 10 minutes, the filled dough roll will be firm enough for cutting. Remove it from the freezer. Sprinkle some flour on the kneading surface. We can now cut the filled dough roll into 8 equal parts, using a cotton thread, starting from the center of the roll. Place each cut roll onto a baking tray. As the rolls will expand during fermentation, they need to be kept apart. Cover the tray with a lid and leave them to ferment. Now they are doubled in size. To give them a glossy finish after baking, brush each roll with a vegan glaze. To prepare the vegan glaze, add 20 milliliters of hot water to 10 grams of instant soy milk powder and 3 tablespoons of powdered vegan sugar, and mix until well incorporated. Then add 20 milliliters of the concentrated coconut milk mixture and 30 milliliters of coconut oil, and stir until smooth without any lumps. Bake the rolls for 18 minutes in a preheated oven, with temperatures at the top and bottom of the oven set at 180 degrees Celsius. Now, our delicious classic-style vegan cinnamon rolls are ready. We can also cut the dough roll differently to form the unique shape of the vegan Franzbrötchen cinnamon rolls. Let's see how this is done. We have prepared another dough roll. Let's start by making out the shape of a trapezoid on the roll with a cutter. Use a cotton thread to cut the dough roll into 8 equal trapezoid-shaped portions. Place the cut portions with the wide side facing downwards. Then use the wooden handle of a spoon or a similar device, pressing on the middle of the small side of the roll. This will give the Franzbrötchen its unique shape. You may press the handle down more to make the final product flatter. After they have doubled in size, brush each roll with the vegan glaze. Now this is what we have after baking. Wow! These Franzbrötchen look great and smell heavenly. I can't wait to try them.
Ingredients. For all ingredients, please use organic versions if available. For the sourdough starter, the ingredients are 100 grams of all-purpose flour, 80 milliliters of warm water, 35 degrees Celsius, 1.5 grams of vegan instant yeast. For the dough, the ingredients are dry ingredients, 200 grams of all-purpose flour, 3 grams of baking powder, 25 grams of vegan sugar, 1 gram of salt, 50 grams of sourdough. Wet ingredients: 70 milliliters of warm water, 35 degrees Celsius, 35 milliliters of warm soy milk, 35 degrees Celsius, 3 grams of vegan instant yeast, 25 to 30 grams of vegan sugar, 15 grams of vegetable oil. For the vegan cinnamon filling, the ingredients are 55 grams of vegan dark brown sugar, 15 grams of vegan sugar powder, 6 grams of cinnamon powder. For the vegan glaze, the ingredients are 10 grams of instant soy milk powder, 3 tablespoons of powdered vegan sugar, 20 milliliters of hot water, 20 milliliters of concentrated coconut milk, 30 milliliters of coconut oil.
All the Sikh gurus in 6 of their times were pure vegetarians. Sadhguru Pratap Singh Ji, vegetarian.
Welcome to our show, Vegan Sourdough Cinnamon Roll, Part 2 of 2, Butterfly and Apple Rose Shaped Treats. Last week, we had the pleasure of showing you how to make traditional cinnamon rolls that are enjoyed during this festive season. Similar steamed flour rolls are popular in parts of Asia, like China and Mongolia. Today, we will create steamed flour rolls on baked cinnamon rolls. By learning some artistic twists, you can please your loved ones this coming Christmas and the New Year. We have shown you how to make the original color dough in part 1 of this show. For the colored dough, there are some changes in the wet ingredients only. We have listed these in the ingredient list at the end of this show, so we will start from the dough sheet directly. Let's begin by making butterfly-shaped cinnamon rolls. First, we will prepare the vegan cinnamon chocolate filling. We use 2 pots, with 1 pot stacked on the other. The water level in the lower pot just touches the bottom of the inner pot. Turn on the heat to boil the water. Pour 100 grams of vegan chocolate chips into the inner pot, stirring occasionally to help melt the chocolate evenly. You can cover the lid to help raise the temperature. When the water starts to boil, remove it from the heat and let the chocolate soften gradually. Prepare another small pot. Pour in 45 grams of oat milk and 50 grams of fresh vegan cream. Turn on the heat and stir until the contents are incorporated. You can replace the vegan cream using the top solidified layer of coconut milk after placing it in a refrigerator overnight. When small bubbles begin to form on the side of the pot, remove the pot from the heat and set it aside for later use. Place the stacked pots containing the chocolate chips back on the stove. Add the freshly heated oat milk and vegan cream to the chocolate chips and continue stirring. Add 30 grams of vegan butter and mix thoroughly until the chocolate becomes smooth and silky. Scoop it into a bowl. Sprinkle 2 grams of cinnamon powder and stir till well incorporated. We will use 2 pieces of dough of distinguished colors, the original plain and purple color, so we will have a clear pattern on the wings of the butterflies. Lay the purple and plain flattened dough on top of one another, ensuring that they both are properly aligned by stretching the dough. Use the rolling pin to roll to get a rectangular shape. Next, we will apply a thin and even layer of the vegan cinnamon chocolate filling. Brush to the edges except for the far right side, leaving 4 to 5 centimeters uncoated. Make a 3 to 5 centimeter fold from the left edge of the dough sheet. Then continue rolling till it reaches the far right edge, which has been left uncoated. Use the rolling pin to gently flatten the rolled up dough, so the wings of the butterfly will be slim. Place the rolled up dough onto a baking tray that is lined with parchment paper. Cover it with a damp cloth and place it in the freezer for about 15 minutes. This will allow the vegan chocolate filling to solidify and it will not ooze out when cutting or shaping. Now the rolled up dough has sufficiently chilled. Dust some flour under the dough. Cut the roll into smaller pieces of around 1 to 1.5 centimeters. Flip 2 dough pieces on their sides so that the fillings are facing upwards and look symmetric. Dust the chopsticks with flour to prevent sticking. Use the chopsticks to squeeze the pair of dough pieces about 2/3 of the way from the top. Now it looks like a butterfly. To secure the pair of dough pieces together while baking, tie them loosely with a piece of cotton thread, as the dough will expand when baking. Place our butterfly onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Repeat the process for the rest of the dough pieces. Use a pair of scissors to trim any excess dough off the butterfly antennas. You can also leave them shorter when folding the dough. Cover the dough with a damp cloth and ferment for 45 minutes at room temperature of between 28 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. When our butterflies have expanded to twice their original size, place them in the preheated oven to bake at 190 degrees Celsius for about 25 minutes or until slightly golden. Remove the butterflies from the oven. For the finishing touch, brush each butterfly with a vegan egg substitute to give it a golden brown shine and a crispy texture. The mixture is 10 grams of vegan white sugar, 5 grams of highly concentrated soy milk, and 5 grams of vegetable oil. Put them back in the oven for 3 to 5 minutes. Remove the cotton thread. Our beautiful and delicious freshly baked butterfly-shaped cinnamon rolls are ready. Enjoy! Next, let's make some delicious apple rose cinnamon rolls. First, slice some apples. Place these apple slices in batches of 5 for later use. Next, we will caramelize the apple slices by placing them into a frying pan. We start with 2 batches of apple slices. Then turn on the stove to low heat and gently fry them. Drizzle some agave syrup on the apple slices. If there is still room in the frying pan, you can add another batch of apple slices. Drizzle some agave syrup. You may need to sprinkle more water to prevent the apple slices from burning. Turn the apple slices over. Sprinkle with some cinnamon powder. And then flip the apple slices over again. Drizzle a little water if required. When the apple slices are soft and pliable, then turn off the heat. Set the caramelized apple slices in batches of 5 to cool. We have made an orange color dough into a rectangle of 20 centimeters by 40 centimeters. Cut out 9 discs from the dough using a cookie cutter of 6 centimeters in diameter. Using the rolling pin, further flatten the dough discs and make them larger. Then take a small lump of dough and shape it into a ball. Roll it out into a long strip with a rolling pin. Then roll it up to make a stamen for our cinnamon apple rose. We will now assemble the dough discs and apple slices to form the apple rose. Firstly, dab half the side of a dough disc with some water. Then place 2 slices of the caramelized apple on the wetted side of the disc dough. Overlap another piece of the dough disc on the apple slices. Repeat the process, dabbing each dough disc with some water to help them stick together. After placing the pair of apple slices for the 5th time, continue with placing the 6th to 8th dough disc in the same manner, but without any apple slices. Then place the rose stamen that we made earlier on the first dough disc. Use the long handle of a ladle to firmly press over them. Begin rolling from the first dough disc. Continue to roll firmly and pause at the 8th dough disc. Roll the 9th dough disc into an oval shape. Dab some water on the outer half of the 8th dough disc and place the last dough on it. Dab some water on the last dough and continue to roll up the assembled dough into a cylinder shape. Now it looks like a blooming rose. Squeeze to tighten and narrow the middle of the cylinder shape. Mark the middle with a knife. Place a piece of cotton thread over the mark and cut the dough cylinder into 2. We now have 2 lovely roses. Cover the rose dough with a damp cloth and leave it. Now they are doubled in size. Glaze them with a layer of vegan egg substitute to give them an attractive glossy appearance. Then bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Our delightful cinnamon apple rose roll is now ready.
Ingredients. For all ingredients, please use organic versions if available. For the vegan purple color dough, the ingredients are dry mixture, 200 grams of flour, 3 grams of baking powder, 25 grams of vegan sugar, 1 gram of salt, 50 grams of sourdough. Wet mixture, 40 grams of purple sweet potato puree, 40 milliliters of warm water, 20 grams of mulberry juice, 15 milliliters of warm soy milk, 3 grams of instant yeast, 25 to 30 grams of vegan sugar, 15 milliliters of vegetable oil. For the vegan cinnamon chocolate filling, the ingredients are 100 grams of vegan chocolate chips, 45 grams of oat milk, 50 grams of fresh vegan cream, 30 grams of vegan butter, 2 grams of cinnamon powder. For the vegan orange colored dough, the ingredients are dry mixture, 200 grams of flour, 3 grams of baking powder, 25 grams of vegan sugar, 1 gram of salt, 50 grams of sourdough. Wet mixture, 80 milliliters of carrot juice, 35 milliliters of warm soy milk, 3 grams of instant yeast, 25 to 30 grams of vegan sugar, 15 milliliters of vegetable oil. For the apple cinnamon filling, the ingredients are apple slices, some agave syrup, some cinnamon powder. For the vegan egg white substitute, the ingredients are 10 grams of vegan sugar, 5 grams of highly concentrated soy milk, 5 grams of vegetable oil.
I saw some animals being killed when I passed by a fish market in Japan. I felt very sad and it touched my heart, so I decided not to eat meat anymore. Henry Atkins, vegan.
Radiant viewers, we hope you have enjoyed our show today. Spread the gift of love this festive season and share these delightful treats with your family and loved ones. When you show someone that you care, you will be blessed abundantly. May you always have God's protection and have a happy and safe holiday.
Wishing peace to all.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach. For free international vegan recipes and for language availability, please visit suprememastertv.com/VEG and suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Pour des recettes véganes internationales gratuites et voir les langues disponibles, veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/VEG et suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Para recetas veganas internacionales gratuitas y para disponibilidad de idiomas, visiten suprememastertv.com/VEG y suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Per ricette vegane internazionali gratuite e per la disponibilità delle lingue, visitate suprememastertv.com/VEG e suprememastertv.com/schedule.